In November 2022, a wave of protests, unprecedented in their scale and audacity, swept across China. These protests were unlike anything seen in recent history, capturing the world's attention and sparking conversations about freedom and resistance. This was the White Paper Movement, also known as the A4 Revolution. The name derived from the blank A4 sheets of paper that protesters held aloft, a silent yet powerful statement against censorship. It marked a turning point in China's social landscape, challenging the status quo and demanding change. The movement's simplicity and symbolism resonated deeply with people from all walks of life. The catalyst? Blank sheets of paper. These seemingly innocuous items became a symbol of defiance, representing the voices that were being silenced. These blank sheets were not mere props, they were powerful symbols. They stood for the stifling censorship imposed by the Chinese Communist Party, a silent protest against the suppression of free speech. They represented the stifling censorship imposed by the Chinese Communist Party. The authorities' heavy-handed response only fueled the movement further, highlighting the very issues the protesters were fighting against. Unable to voice their grievances directly, citizens found a poignant way to express their dissatisfaction. The blank paper became a canvas for their unspoken words, a powerful metaphor for the freedom they sought. The movement, predominantly led by students and young people, quickly transcended its initial focus on COVID-19 restrictions. It became a broader call for political reform and greater freedoms. It evolved into a broader outcry against the CCP's authoritarian rule and its increasingly repressive policies. The bravery of these protesters inspired many, both within China and around the world. This spontaneous eruption of dissent revealed the simmering discontent that lay beneath the surface of Chinese society. It was a powerful reminder that the desire for freedom and justice can never be fully suppressed. For nearly 3 years, China clung steadfastly to its zero-COVID policy. This policy, characterized by strict lockdowns, mass testing, and digital surveillance, exacted a heavy toll on the Chinese people. While initially lauded for its apparent success in containing the virus, the policy's long-term sustainability was questionable. As the pandemic wore on, the economic and social consequences of zero-COVID became increasingly apparent. Businesses struggled to survive, livelihoods were lost, and mental health issues surged. The human cost of the policy was undeniable. Moreover, the zero-COVID policy fostered a climate of fear and paranoia. Citizens were subjected to constant surveillance, their movements restricted, and their lives placed on hold. The CCP's relentless pursuit of this policy, even as the rest of the world began to reopen, fueled resentment and frustration. On 24 November 2022, a fire erupted in a high-rise apartment building in Urumqi, the capital of Xinjiang province. The blaze quickly spread through the building, trapping residents inside and causing widespread panic. The fire, which claimed the lives of 10 people, became a chilling symbol of the human cost of the zero-COVID policy. The victims included children and elderly residents who were unable to escape the inferno. Reports emerged that lockdown measures, including locked fire exits, had hampered rescue efforts. Residents were unable to flee due to the stringent restrictions, and emergency responders faced significant delays in reaching the scene. The Urumqi fire was not an isolated incident. Across China, similar tragedies had unfolded, each one highlighting the severe consequences of the government's draconian lockdown measures. Similar tragedies attributed to strict lockdown measures had occurred in other parts of China. These incidents underscored the widespread discontent and frustration among the populace. However, the Urumqi fire struck a nerve. It resonated deeply with people who had been enduring months of harsh lockdowns and restrictions. It galvanized public anger and sparked outrage across the country. People took to the streets in unprecedented numbers, demanding accountability and an end to the oppressive measures. The fire became a rallying cry for the White Paper movement. Protesters held up blank sheets of paper, symbolizing the censorship and suppression of free speech. It exposed the callous disregard for human life that underpinned the CCP's pursuit of zero COVID. The government's heavy-handed approach was laid bare for the world to see. The tragedy served as a stark reminder of the human cost of unchecked authoritarianism. It ignited a movement that demanded change and highlighted the resilience and courage of those who stood up against oppression. Despite the CCP's tight grip on information and its relentless persecution of dissent, the Chinese people have found ways to make their voices heard. From the quiet acts of defiance to the bold displays of protest, resistance in China takes many forms. Online platforms, though heavily censored, have become important spaces for expressing dissent. Citizens use coded language, humor, and satire to circumvent censorship and share their views. The internet, despite the CCP's best efforts, remains a vital tool for mobilization and information sharing. Beyond the digital realm, acts of civil disobedience, labor strikes, and protests over local issues continue to challenge the CCP's authority. While often localized and quickly suppressed, these acts of resistance demonstrate the courage and resilience of the Chinese people. Section 5. The Iron Fist tightens, the CCP's machinery of repression. The CCP, acutely aware of the threat posed by any form of dissent, has responded with its usual arsenal of repression. The security apparatus has been strengthened, surveillance expanded, and dissent ruthlessly crushed. The tools of control have become more sophisticated and pervasive. One of the CCP's most potent weapons is its vast censorship apparatus. The internet, media, and public discourse are tightly controlled, ensuring that only officially sanctioned narratives reach the public. This information control is crucial to maintaining the CCP's grip on power. Beyond censorship, the CCP employs a range of tactics to silence dissent, including arbitrary detention, enforced disappearances, and torture. Critics of the regime, human rights lawyers, and activists face constant harassment, intimidation, and imprisonment. Section 6. Despair's desperate measures, the rise of violent individualism. While collective action is ruthlessly suppressed, a disturbing trend has emerged in China, a rise in seemingly random acts of violence. Stabbings, car rammings, and attacks on schools have become increasingly frequent, sending shockwaves through Chinese society. These acts, often perpetrated by individuals driven to despair by economic hardship, social alienation, or a sense of injustice, are a symptom of a deeper malaise. They reflect a society grappling with mounting pressures and a lack of avenues for peaceful redress. The CCP's response to these incidents has been predictable, increased security and surveillance. However, these measures fail to address the underlying causes of this violence, which are rooted in the CCP's own policies and its tight control over Chinese society. Section 7. Echoes of Defiance, Measuring the Impact of Resistance. Despite the CCP's best efforts, the spirit of resistance in China persists. The White Paper movement, though short-lived, had a profound impact. It demonstrated the power of collective action and exposed the limits of the CCP's control. The movement also shattered the illusion of apathy among China's youth. It revealed a generation deeply concerned about their future and willing to risk their freedom to demand change. This awakening of political consciousness poses a significant challenge to the CCP's long-term legitimacy. While the CCP has successfully suppressed the White Paper movement and other forms of dissent, the underlying grievances remain. The economic slowdown, social inequality, and lack of political freedom will continue to fuel discontent and drive resistance. Section 8. Voices from the Frontline, Testimonies of Courage and Despair. The human cost of the CCP's repression is best understood through the voices of those who have experienced it firsthand. Protesters, activists, and ordinary citizens have spoken out at great personal risk to share their stories and bear witness to the CCP's brutality. These testimonies are not just words, they are cries for justice and freedom, echoing through the streets and across the world. And ordinary citizens have spoken out at great personal risk to share their stories and bear witness to the CCP's brutality. Their courage is a beacon of hope, illuminating the dark reality of oppression. "We are not afraid anymore," declared a young protester during the White Paper demonstrations. This sentiment is shared by many who have taken to the streets, risking their lives for a chance at a better future. "We have nothing to lose. We want freedom, we want democracy." These powerful words resonate deeply, capturing the essence of a movement driven by a desire for fundamental human rights. These words encapsulate the desperation and the courage of a generation yearning for change. They are a testament to the unyielding spirit of those who refuse to be silenced. However, there are also voices of despair, voices that speak of lost hope and the crushing weight of repression. These voices remind us of the harsh reality faced by many. Voices that speak of lost hope and the crushing weight of repression. The stories of those who have been silenced, detained, or disappeared are a stark reminder of the cost of dissent. "I feel so powerless," confessed a Beijing resident, speaking on condition of anonymity. The government controls everything. This feeling of powerlessness is pervasive, affecting countless individuals who feel trapped in a system that leaves no room for dissent. We are just pawns in their game. This metaphor captures the essence of their struggle, highlighting the immense challenges faced by those who dare to speak out. Yet, even in the face of such adversity, the spirit of resistance endures. Section 9. A Seed of Hope. The Unquenchable Spirit of Freedom. The struggle for freedom and democracy in China is fraught with challenges. The CCP, with its vast resources and ruthless determination, seems insurmountable. Yet, amidst the darkness, there are flickers of hope. The White Paper Movement, the Urumqi fire protests, and countless other acts of resistance demonstrate the indomitable spirit of the Chinese people. Their yearning for freedom, for a say in their own governance, cannot be extinguished. The struggle for a free and democratic China is a marathon, not a sprint. It will be a long and arduous journey, marked by setbacks and sacrifices. But the seeds of change have been sown, and the yearning for freedom, once awakened, is difficult to suppress.